Guys, the World Cup is hotting up. The big boys have shown up. So we're going to do a very special episode of who we think is going to win the Golden Boot this year. We're going to go through everyone that's in the race, and then Mark and I will give you our verdict at the end. So make sure you stick around for that. Before we do anything, all of you know we're on the road to 1,000, which means hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications button. Marky Mark. The World Cup is getting tasty. I love World Cups, by the way. It's so different to Euros, and obviously I'll watch the Euros and whatever else. But the World Cup, when you have the likes of Brazil, Argentina, you really get into it. Well, at least I do anyway. And this one so far for me has not disappointed because the big boys have proper shown up, geez. Messi, Haaland, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. There's so many have shown up, and it looks like Christie's not going to stay out of the party for too long as well, judging on what he did for Portugal the other day. Oh, Marky Mark, it's only right we do a special episode on it, right? We've got to cover the World Cup, and we've got to cover who we think is going to win the Golden Boot. How do you feel about this one? Are you excited? Are you thinking, oh, I can't be arsed? Or are you thinking, yes, bosh, we're finally covering the World Cup?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's the main topic of everyone's conversation. Like, if you have a look at any football podcast, they're all covering the World Cup. This is our first one. So, yeah, I've been watching the World Cup in detail as well. I saw the Brazil game against Scotland where they smashed up Scotland 3-0. It is tasty. We are seeing goals left, right and centre. I do love the World Cup. Apart from the Ghana game against England, the majority of the time is that when I watch the World Cup, it's very open, that there's a lot of space. Of course, there's one or two games where there isn't, and that gives the opportunity for lots of goals, which is what we're talking about. We're talking about who we predict is going to be the Golden Boot winner. Let's actually go through the contenders, and we're kicking off with Leo Messi, Kylian Mbappé, Erling Haaland, Vinny Jr., and one more, which is going to be Harry Kane. Firstly, have I missed anyone out?
Yeah, quite an obvious one. You missed out.
Who?
The guy who thinks he is the greatest of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo. You've got to mention him. It's still early, bro.
Yeah, no, not for me. He's not even a contender. I mean...
Why not? He's got the same number of goals as Harry Kane.
Yeah, that's great. Who did they play for him to get those 2 goals? Like, he was rubbish. The first game I saw him, he was rubbish. It looks like he doesn't. For me, it feels like he doesn't belong in the World Cup. Like, his time has passed, even for Cristiano Ronaldo. And I know there's rumors and rumblings. Oh yeah, Ronaldo will play the next World Cup when he's 44. I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah, but I actually think his time is done. I don't think. I mean, Portugal have a good team. He's in it.
Yeah.
They can go far. So I guess it'll be a little bit stupid for me to completely dismiss him. I get that. But for me, he's not in the running. We'll put him in there just for you. It does make sense.
Well, hold on. There's a few names there, right? So we can pick whoever we want. It doesn't matter. You can rule him out if you want. But all I'm saying is, which you just covered there, I don't disagree with anything that you said there. I think Portugal, though, have got a good enough team to go deep in the competition. So that means more games, which gives him more chance of scoring goals. It's also a World Cup where it's got the highest record number of teams ever. So you're going to get a bunch of journeymen or teams that you can score against and just boost up your numbers. Look, okay, if we're going to go this early, I'll be transparent. I don't think he's going to win it, but I am going to mention his name because it's Ronaldo, right? But it is what it is. I think you've mentioned the key ones. There's a couple of other interesting ones, though, that you haven't mentioned that could be interesting based on how far they might go. Because, for example, Erling Haaland, by the way, I think he's obviously on 4 goals at the moment, but I don't see Norway going as far as Brazil, or I don't see Norway as going as far as even Portugal. So, or even the likes potentially of Germany. Dennis Undav is on 3 goals, 2 assists, but 3 goals, and he seems to have found his groove coming off the bench and scoring goals.
That's true.
Look, Mark, we're going to go through the guys, right? But I just want to ask you a quick question, just for our viewers as well, but more for my interest. Game of the tournament so far for you?
The England game. The first one. Yeah, the England game, the first one. And, that had so much expectations. Everyone in England were jizzing, oh, yeah, they're playing like a Premier League team. They're so intense. They're so quick. And they're da-da-da-da. And look what happens again. I'm just super quickly going to touch on it. I know this is not the subject of the video. But this all now comes down. They've got a lot of pace, England, right? But I do not see that much creativity. Now, it doesn't matter so much now, I get it, because right now you're playing teams like Ghana who are going to sit back and relax, yeah, and they're going to go compact and then they're just going to sit back. And I get that. But for these types of games, a Cole Palmer, a Phil Foden, like that's where you'd introduce them to break the lines, yeah, to create more opportunities, to be more unpredictable. I get it. Once they move over to if they get past the group stages, they start getting to the knockouts. You're going to be playing better teams. These better teams, they're going to be more expansive, which means there's going to be more space for the speed of England to get through. But I still think that England are missing a piece of magic, right? And unpredictability. And that's where Foden, I get it, they didn't have the best seasons, but even Palmer, like Palmer's had good games. Like he was in the last tournament's final. He scored vital goals. He can still do it. That's my only concern. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, look, I mean, when the squad is announced, everyone's a bit surprised, right? You're missing some key players there in terms of, well, a big surprise like Harry Maguire, but if you're talking about further up the pitch and the progressive parts, you leave out a Cole Palmer, you leave out a Phil Foden. If it doesn't work out, you're going to get pillared. You're going to get judged by it, right? Oh, he got it wrong.
You brought on like Jordan Henderson. I mean,
he's gone for harmony, isn't he? He's gone for harmony, and I do get it. And he's also thinking we've got enough star quality there with the likes of Bellingham, Saka, Rashford. I'm not going to mention Gordon because I don't rate him, but there's players there, and obviously Harry Kane, he's thinking he's got enough. Look, time will tell. Time will tell. We digress. Let's get back to the main subject.
Let's talk about Harry Kane. Let's talk about Harry Kane. He's definitely one of them. What do you think? I mean, I'm looking at the odds. He's got 2 goals right now. Odds 8-1, which ain't great. If you look at Mbappe, which we're going to touch on, he's got 5-1. So it's understandable, he's scoring. He scores a lot of goals in his tournaments. The last 2 tournaments, England went to the final, so that gave him the opportunity to score more goals. How do you think? Do you think he's a contender? Do you think he'll get anywhere near the Golden Boot winner or the Golden Boot?
It all depends on how far we can go in the competition, and actually, we've got a pretty treacherous route. So. Let me say something. If Gareth Southgate was in charge of this team, I'd give Harry Kane 0 chance, because anytime we come up against someone half decent, we'd lose and we'd go out and he'd deliver his own usual kind of, Gareth Southgate, I rate him below you as a manager. So that's where I have Gareth Southgate. But because we've got Tuchel, we could do something. The route, though, Mark, means I don't think Harry Kane is going to have the chance to outscore a Kylian Mbappé or a Messi, even, who are 2 and 3 goals ahead of him already, mate. Have you seen the route? We may potentially have to go through Mexico. I think someone before Mexico, and then we've got to go Mexico City and play in Mexico's backyard. And if we get through that, then we've got to play all the big boys in a row. I think it's the likes of Brazil, then France, and then Spain or something like that. And I just don't see that if we end up going down that route, the way things are panning out at the moment. Listen, there's a couple more group games to go, right? So we don't know exactly how it's going to pan out. But if that's going to be the route, I'm going to rule out Harry Kane. Not because I don't think he's good enough. I just don't think you can give Kylian Mbappé at this stage and Messi a 2 and 3 goal head start and have a tougher route potentially to the final. Whereas like an Mbappé has got potentially an easier route and he's already on 4 goals. So I'm going to rule out Harry Kane, but not based on talent. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's there or thereabouts. But it would mean that, Mark, we have to get to the final minimum. Well, minimum, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a look, I know there's a lot of bias here in the UK. Everyone thinks that we're going to make the final and we're going to compete. And I think I do see where a lot of people are coming from. I do agree. I think he's got a chance. I think he has a chance. That's what I'll say. And the main reason why I'll say Harry Kane has a chance is that we're talking about someone who got 61 goals last season. We're talking about someone who I think is even though he's like plus 30, he's in the best condition. He's playing the best football of his life. And that makes him, for me, the best striker the best 9, should I say, in the world and even right now. So I wouldn't put my money on it, but he can do it. Let's talk about Erling Haaland super quickly. We talked about that, didn't we? We don't think he's going to do it, even though he's got like 4 goals at the moment.
Well, it's Norway. How far are Norway going to go
That's
into
the
this
thing.
tournament? Okay, let me ask you:
It's true.
Are Norway going to get further than Brazil,
No,
France, Argentina?
no,
Right? Like
no.
Brazil have got Vinny Junior's already on 4 goals. He's got the same number
Yeah.
of goals as Erling Haaland, and he plays in a much better side. Same with Kylian Mbappé. He's already on 4, but it's France, one of the favourites, and then you've got Messi, who's on 5, and he's been there, done it. So I think for that reason alone, again, it's not because of talent. It's because Norway won't go far. So I'm ruling him out. He's not for me.
I totally agree with that. And whilst we're on the topic, Leo Messi. Now, I said Ronaldo doesn't feel like he belongs in this tournament. The opposite totally goes with Messi for me. It feels like, before I pass it on to you, it feels like the entire Argentina team is playing for Messi. All the balls go to Messi, and you can even see, like, I think it was the first game. He got 2 goals, and there was this talk about, oh, is he going to get his first hat trick in the World Cup? And you can see the Argentina players all looking for him. They wanted him to get the hat trick, and he got it. All the focus is on Messi. What I will say is he's 38. And there's still a
39.
lot of games to go. 30, 38, 39, 39, even worse for Messi.
Just had his birthday.
It just had his birthday. Okay, fair and happy birthday. Let's see how his body holds up in an intense tournament like this. It's all good doing it now, and you're doing it against teams which are not top tier, right? Where there's so much space. But as he progresses, as Argentina progress, if they progress, how is his body going to hold up? That's important. How's the heat going to affect him? I get it. He's played into Miami. He's used to it and conditioned to that. But it is Messi. The team are playing for him. And there's something brewing in the air with not Argentina, with Messi. And I feel like he could do something a little bit special again, just before he retires. What do you think about what I just said? Is he a contender for you?
Well, it's Messi, and he's got 5 already, and the team, as you said, are playing for him. So, yeah, of course, he's a contender. Couple of things. What we realise, Messi at 39 is still the best player Argentina have got.
Absolutely.
Currently. And the good thing about them is they all know it. And so what they'll do is they'll work hard around him, so he's able to conserve energy. The thing about him running out of steam, he's too experienced. He's not like 22 years old where he's thinking, I'm going to have to do. He walks a lot during games, like he walks. He does. And he makes the runs at the right time. So actually, he's a very young-looking 39 at the moment because you've got the right setup. Listen, if you put the best player that we've ever seen in the right setup, and they're 39, but everyone else is working for him around him, and he can make the runs when he wants to make the runs. Yeah. Then this is what you get. This is what you get. Yeah. I mean, he's banging with a shout, and I think Argentina can go deep. Not because I rate the team. I think they play all right together as a team, but they've got Messi, and they know they've got Messi, and he's got his scoring boots on. So they're in with a shout for me. Messi's definitely in with a shout for me, but I haven't gone for him as my Golden Boot winner, albeit I wouldn't be surprised if he is. But before we wrap this up, I'll come to you first, and you lead it. If it's not this person, it's going to be Messi for me. But I don't think it's going to be Messi just because I don't know if Argentina will get as far. I think they'll get unstuck because really as a team, as hard as they're working and as solid as they can look at times, I think Argentina is susceptible. They talked about Maradona being a one-man team and dragging a team to the World Cup. I kind of look at Argentina now the same as well, and it's just Messi. I do see him as a one-man team. It's backed up by the fact that all their goals have been scored by him in this World Cup so far. They could prove me wrong, but I don't think they'll go as deep as a lot of people think they will.
I think I have a feeling that they'll go deep. Yeah, so I'll go with the majority. And now we're going to come on to the final player. the player that has won, top scorer in the league of the last 2 seasons, the player that has scored a hat trick in the last final. I think it was the last final, right? The player in the last World Cup, the last 2 World Cups, has been the Golden Boot winner, and it is none other than the best player in the world for me is Kylian Mbappé of France. And this guy is an absolute scoring machine. And the thing is, I think that not just everyone's going on about France's front line, which is crazy. Like Shirky can't even get a freaking sniff, bro. Elise, Dembele, but their midfield, their defenders, their goalkeeper. I know you're not the biggest fan. I think he's good. I don't think he's a wow, but I think that the whole team is fantastic. And it's littered with so much talent. And I think that the manager really needs to get the balance right. I mean, that is so important. They get the balance right. And plus you position it and where you're going to get the best out of Kylian Mbappé. You play him in his best position. For me, I'll put all my money on Kylian Mbappé getting the Golden Boot. Not necessarily France winning the tournament, but Kylian, look at his records. Just look at his stats. Last two World Cups, top scorer. Top scorer everywhere he goes. Top scorer. Every competition he plays, top scorer. Why would I go against him? I don't even think he's reached his absolute pinnacle yet. I still feel there's more to go, and that's freaking scary. Look at it. I think he's like 3-4 goals away from Miroslav Klose. The guy's like 25, 26. It's going to be smashing records. All the money has to go on Kylian Mbappé. And if anyone thinks differently, let me know in the comments, because I would ban you from the channel immediately. And Neil?
He's already level with Klose. So he is absolutely flying. Kylian Mbappé, for me, wins the Golden Boot. Why? He plays in a better French side, and he's the main man in that French side. So Messi is the main man at Argentina, but he plays in, for me, a much weaker side. The French have got threats and firepower everywhere, but the goals are coming through Mbappe. I think they're well balanced. I think they're good from back to front. If you're going to pick any weaknesses, you might look at the midfield and go, it's not X factor, but the front line makes up for it. All roads for me lead to Kylian Mbappé winning the Golden Boot for all the reasons that you stated. And the fact that he's playing, for me, in a better team, and arguably the best team at the World Cup this year, if not just top 2. So for those reasons alone, he, for me, probably wins it. I'll rule out Vinny Jr. as well. I don't think he's going to do it. But look, you'd be happy with any one of these boys winning the Golden Boot when it's so good to see all the big names showing up and getting the goals. And I think Ronaldo saw that and thought, right, let me bang a couple in and see if I can get in amongst it as well, which I love to see. I love his drive. I love his motivation. I love the fact that would have spurred him on. So I'm not going to fully rule him out scoring a few more goals. But yeah, Mbappe for me too.
Guys, let us know in the comments. Who do you tip for the Golden Boot winner? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.